protect intellectual property right, people would not spend a lot of money and doing innovation, and then it's very time consuming. And if it's not protected, they would not do that, right? But I think sometimes we overprotect it, right? There are millions of patents, a lot of patents are rubbish. If we protect them too much, it's actually not helping the technology to be developed. It doesn't help people to be innovative and to take more product, to think more about how to sell the product in their way.
But then who can decide which one is more rubbish than the others? That's a very hard question. And what is the quality of that person or organization is another question. Yeah. Very complicated here. Encouraging or not necessarily so?
I think encouraging. Great wealth is created. I mean, great wealth is not created by being a lawyer, by Luca Liu and myself, or being a news person like yourself. I mean, great wealth is accumulated and created by owning something that appreciates rapidly. Yeah. And a patent allows you 20 years in an innovation patent of exclusive rights. The irony of this whole case is, even in the three cases at hand, they're not using those patents in the telephones any longer, but they're still fighting about these issues. So it's all about great wealth being created. And so this idea of having exclusive rights is going to always want to have people drive forth innovation because they want to have great wealth. But the issue on this is only a few companies. AOL sold its entire patent portfolio recently and for $1.5 billion. And it's only going to be in the hands of a few. And this is a problem because you've got a monopoly, or you've got an oligarchy of people who are going to make these decisions and set prices and hurt our consumers. And we're fighting in the courtrooms, or they're fighting in the courtrooms right now. Maybe it's Google. It's not really Samsung. It's Google. They're in the background. And the same with the Motorola case in Chicago, and the same with the Motorola case in the ITC, which is another body in Washington, D.C. Right. And the consumer is going to be hurt, but there's only going to be a few people who are going to benefit by this.
Well, that is one thing. The other thing really interesting and therefore extremely important is what is the difference between copying, quote-unquote, and quote-unquote being inspired, because that is some of the arguments made by some players in certain similar cases. Correct. So what is the difference from the legal perspective between copying, which is certainly not a very nice sounding word. Being inspired, however, is an extremely beautiful word. So the legal difference, and is there really, does the law really go there at this moment, for example, about IT products, which are innovating all the time?
Yeah. Well, I think people are saying that innovation starting from copying, right? It's not something like...
Who said that?
Somebody said that. I think somebody even, when they made comments about this case, they even talk about it even in the US. So it's not always like copying is